Hi, my name is Luke Zio, and I'm an adjunct instructor of statistics at a four-year college who has been teaching statistics the last 12 years. I developed this course primarily to allow students to learn and apply the foundation of probability theory at their own pace and to help them prepare for taking an introductory statistics class for credit or to succeed in it. Probability is not a straightforward formula-based subject. A lot of effort need to be spent to try to understand the concepts, especially paying attention to the technical English language and paying attention to each word being used. It is a subject that constantly requires logical thinking and the ability to fully understand and translate the technical English language into calculation. To quote the French mathematician Laplace, probability theory is nothing but common sense reduced to calculation. This course is very rich in content, quizzes, and hands-on solved problems. In fact, there are over 25 quizzes in the course. Please note that this course covers only probability concepts, counting, and discrete random variable. It is not a complete introductory statistics course. My approach is modular. I cover the modules one by one, making sure that each one is rich in content rather than putting together a long course that lacks the depth and clarity needed by students to succeed in their courses. So for this particular module, I'm talking about probability theory, counting technique, and discrete random variable. This course is also for anyone who wants to understand the foundation of probability theory, counting technique, and discrete random variable. Probability theory is an art of reasoning, thinking, and logic, and as such is a very good topic for people to learn. As far as requirement, the main one will be having at least some basic algebra course. You will also benefit if you have taken my descriptive statistics course module as it immerses the student into statistical concept. At least with that initial descriptive statistics course, you will learn some important statistical concept. Above all, this course requires patience, willingness to learn the concept and apply them, going over the quizzes, reading closely the solved problem, and paying attention to requirement for each distribution. All right, I'm going to quickly show you some of the things that we will be talking about in the class. We will cover the notion of sample space, sample point or outcomes, probability experiment. For example, we'll talk about experiment consisting in tossing coins, rolling dice. We'll talk about the composition of the deck of 52 cards. This is so that everybody understand, the composition of the deck, how many suits are there, how many black cards, how many red cards, how many aces, how many face cards, how many king, how many queens, how many tens, etc. So fully understand the composition of the deck because probability problem often make reference to the game of 52 cards. We'll talk about definition of probability. We'll cover concept of event, probability event, intersection of the event, the union of event, the complement of event, mutually exclusive or disjoint event, addition rule of probability, how to use it and apply it to problems. We will cover conditional probability and showcase the concept with a lot of problems. We'll cover the concept of independent event and how to prove that events are independent. We'll talk about the multiplication rule of probability. We will talk about discrete probability distribution. So here I will cover the concept of discrete random variable, definition of a probability distribution. We will calculate the mean or expected value of a discrete probability distribution. We will calculate the variance of a discrete probability random variable. We will talk about standard deviation of a discrete random variable. In counting technique, we will talk about fundamental principle of counting. We will cover the concept of permutation of n element. We will cover the concept of combination of n element taken r at a time. We will talk about the differences between permutation and combination. We will solve permutation and combination problem to fully illustrate the concept. We will study a few discrete probability distribution. First, we will study the binomial distribution. We will also study the hypergeometric distribution. We will study the Poisson distribution. We will study the geometric distribution. We will talk about the negative binomial distribution. And we will cover the multinomial distribution. All right, so thank you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in class.